Right, in this lecture, we'll be covering the unit 1, and the topic that we'll be covering is the definition of your contract. So we are into the law which is concerned with the Contract Act 1872. The first term that we should know, what is a contract. So when we talk about the term contract, it is a very, very important term, or we can say it is a very, very significant term in the business or the commercial world. So before getting into that, let us know what actually the contract. You would have heard there are several contracts which is available in the real world, right? One of the contract which we are more familiar is your employment contract, right? You would have seen your brothers or sisters or your father or your mom who maybe in a working arena, they would have an appointment letter of working in a particular job description. So that we call as a simple as an employment contract. So what is it actually? If I say that you may become a graduate, right? So one point of time you will become a graduate and you go and approach the companies for applying for a particular job, maybe a post of an accountant or say a voice processing job, or it could be anything, right? So definitely when you start your new job, you have to sign an employment contract. Definitely you should have a sign, right? So when you become a graduate, right, so you'll be approaching the company and definitely you should do a sign an employment letter. Employment contract will be given to you, and there is a contract between the employer and the employee that you are. Okay, and that what is this contract actually defines. When you do a signature in a particular document, what you find in the document is that what is the salary which is being prescribed to you, and what are your job responsibilities, how much work hours you'll be working in a particular role, and what are the various employment terms. It could be with related to the benefits or any benefit that the employer is going to offer you. Okay, so everything is a contract, so that can be said as one type of an employment contract, which can be taken as an example. So when we come to the simple word of a contract, right? So contract comprises of very two combination of two things, right? One is your agreement, one is your agreement, and one is the obligation, right? That is an agreement, and there will be obligation. Then comes what is this agreement is all about. So when I divide the agreement, I can say the agreement has two more combined words. One is offer and one is acceptance. So when I say on the obligation, we are more concerned with the obligation with respect to the nature, which is legal in nature. Now, when we put these two term in a formal way, the contract definition has been very, very simplified. So contract is nothing but it is an agreement which is enforceable by law. Enforceable by law. We can say the term to be defined as a contract. Now, as per the section 2H, right, the definition say section 2 subsection H, which is a definition section of your Indian Contract Act 1872. It says contract is an agreement which is enforceable by law, right? It is an agreement which is enforceable by law. This can be said as a very simple definition of a contract. So henceforth we can say that two steps on the condition is possible. So when we talk about the contract, these are two terms that you should remember, right? One is your agreement, and the agreement should be have a enforceability by law. It should be enforceable by law.